Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. In case you didn't recognise her, that's Leslie Bibb on the screen. And the only thing I've ever seen her in is Iron Man and Iron Man 2, which I've got on 4K Blu-ray. She didn't have a big part in both those movies, but in the first one her character had a sort of essential role in that it introduced Tony Stark before he was Iron Man, and showing you what sort of narcissist he was. The obvious question, would I date her if I was super wealthy? Nope. She's in a stable, happy relationship, and besides that she's 2 to 3 inches taller than me, and that's without wearing heels. So, as before, if our orbits crossed, it'd be interesting to see what she looks like in real life. But when it comes to dating, romance and all that sort of thing, then nah, it's a case of look but don't touch. So I wouldn't bother dating her like I wouldn't bother dating most of the other actresses that I've had as wallpaper on my screen. Anyway, enough about Leslie. Now, you know that the principal news in the world now is a little local conflict in the Gulf. So I thought I'd have a look round to see what sort of effect it's going to have from a MGTOW point of view, as in male and female in the workforce, because we've got tough times coming ahead. The first thing I found was this. As you can see, it's CNBC, Women and Wealth, and it says K-shaped economy puts pressure on women as lower pay and higher costs reduce spending. Now, it's called a K-shape because those in the top echelon jobs, they're doing well, and those in the lower echelon jobs are not doing well. And it says if you drop down, the wage gap for women is 81 cents for every dollar a man makes, according to the National Women's Law Centre. Well, they would say that. And the extra pay boost that workers typically get when they switch jobs has declined. That's usually the case. If you switch jobs to a job that pays a lower wage than the former one, you are going to get a lower pay. And the Bank of America Institute report found women are pulling back on spending. That's the bit which took my eye. So if you drop right down at the bottom, where is it? It says women's spending is starting to slow down. Stronger income growth can drive financial stability for women. Get rid of that. I don't want to go on X. Get rid of that, Christopher. Weaker unemployment and wages weigh on spending. Experts have analysed that 70 million consumer and business accounts. Bank of America Institutes found that women's spending is starting to slow down. So that's going to affect all these clothes shops and shoe shops and makeup shops across America. Women are driving more of trading down, especially when it comes to clothes shopping, as I said the Bank of America. That's one of the areas where we've seen they're becoming even more selective as some of these income constraints become a little more pinched. Well, the guy doesn't need as many clothes as women, and he doesn't need as many shoes as women. I've got 4 pairs of shoes. I've had them for well over a decade now. They do me. I don't need shoes for going with different outfits. Got 1 pair of brown and 1 pair of black, and that's more or less it. I've got a couple of trainers, but essentially I don't need shoes that often as women do. Anyway, it says affordable prices and the pay freeze have now led more women than men to seek value before buying groceries, dining out and travelling. Women are more often responsible for childcare and elderly caregiving, which is also exacerbating pay and spending gaps with men. The spending disproportionately impacts women. So you notice they're worried about the spending from women, not men. Not only when it comes to the budget they're allocating, but also their decisions to participate in the labour force. When we think about all these pressures really consolidating, it certainly impacts women's decisions. Now that's Women and Wealth in the same thing, CNBC. This was done on March 25th, and this one was done March the 9th, and it was naturally written by two women. It says, recession odds climb on Wall Street as the economy shows cracks beneath the surface. It says, where is it? Economists have pulled up their risk of assessment of a US contraction and highlighting uncertainty over geopolitical risk and a labour market that for the past year has shown strains. Now if you drop down, where is it? This one. Talks of an economic contraction has accelerated as the war with Iran is dragged on. An oil shock has preceded virtually every recession in America as has seen since the Great Depression, save for the COVID pandemic. Prices at the pump have risen by $1.02 a gallon over the past month. Let's just see about RAC. Come on, Christopher. Fuel watch. Let's see what it is over here. I've not checked this for a bit. Diesel, petrol, gasoline, £1.57 a litre. Diesel 1.89. Ooh, it's gone up. What's it? Sainsbury's 188.6, 194. Bloody hell. And Premier Diesel 208. If you've got a wagon, you're looking at 400 gallon, so you're looking at about £10,000 to fill the tank. That's why things are going to go up in price. Anyway, whoops, not that one, and get rid of that. Anyway, it says oil shocks and years of recession, major spikes in global prices, often a harbinger of economic contractions. And then if you drop down, where is it? To be sure, economists are a lot of negative and subject to the odd troop are predicting 9 of the 5 recessions markets have been wrong about the economy's heading. A production of yield curve on the spread between various treasury maturities. That's what's going to clobber the American industry, the treasury bonds. The people won't want to buy them, and that means the whole American economy will be tipped over a cliff edge. Most closely watched by the Fed, has sent repeated false recession signals over the past 3.5 years. Now this is the bit which is relevant. Trouble with jobs beyond energy prices. Economists say the Labour market is a key pressure point. The American economy created just 116,000 jobs for all of 2025 and lost 92,000 in February, while the unemployment rate was held steady at 4.4%. That's largely because of dearth of firing rather than a burst of hiring. And then you drop down. Unemployment, of course, is a key driver for consumer spending, i.e. women, which has held strong despite rising prices and worries about growth. These twin concerns have spurred talk about stagflation, the combination of soaring inflation and stagnant growth. Even I remember that. Fed Chief Powell rejected the characterization in a news conference following last week's policy meeting with the central bank. Well, he would say that, wouldn't he? I've always had to point out that a 1970s term was a time when unemployment was in double figures and inflation was really high. I remember the oil shock of the 1970s and cracks in the foundation. Where is it? This bit. We estimate that, bloody X. We estimate that 20 to 25% of the spending growth has been boosted by the wealth effect coming from the stock market over the past 2 years. If you don't get that wealth effect boost, you're going to lose a lot of growth. And then we have the Dow Jones stuff and gross domestic products, more yada yada. And says there's a support underneath. This makes a real hesitant use of the R word, recession, but certainly I think we're seeing a slowdown this year. Now, I found this, which is sort of relevant to the whole situation. This is, as you can see, Fortune. This was done on April 25th, which was last Saturday. US oil producers aren't coming to the rescue despite high prices as mistrust and chaos in outlook. The market is being manipulated. Of course, it's always been manipulated. Now, the bit which is relevant, which took my eye, where is it? This bit. After the war ends, the oil supply chain needs time to restart. Ports will take 2 months to reopen. The tanker crews will wait up to 3 weeks to feel safe enough to travel through the strait. And JP Morgan estimated reviving oil production would take 4 months to reach 99% of capacity. And the tankers which were on the way when this little Trump was bamboozled into this pointless war, they've already reached the port of call, unloaded the oil supplies, but they can't go back for a top-up because the strait has been shut. It says, meanwhile, the Strait of Hormuz, through which natural gas passed before the war, will not be viewed the same way again. And it says the next 2 months is going to be an ongoing absolute disaster. Even if you open the straits tomorrow, that's just locked by virtue of tankers. The are all in the wrong place because they're all over the place. Plus, they're bottled up. Now, apart from all that, we've got 2030 coming along with 52% of women being single and childless. And this bit sort of tops it off. The fastest growing decline in jobs by 2030. Jobs like delivery drivers, which are generally men, construction workers, which are always men, are set to grow. Clerical and secretarial workers, which are mostly women, are expected to see the largest decline. Analytical thinking is the most sought after core skill. Well, guys usually are better at analytical thinking than women because women tend to think with their emotions. And if you drop down, the fastest decline in jobs, according to the World Economic Forum's Future of Job Report, postal clerks, bank tellers, data entry clerks, administrative, printing, accounting. Most of these jobs I'm looking through tend to be associated with women. Now, the fastest growing jobs by 2030, big data specialists, fintech engineers, AI, machine learning specialists, software and application developers, that's all STEM stuff. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. All these jobs tend to be associated with men. Now we've got, as it shows, the K-shaped economy puts pressure on women as lower pay and higher cost. And if you drop down, where is it? The unemployment rate of women held steady at 4.1% for the first 2 months of the year, according to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Still, the sharp rise in the number of Hispanic and black women are out of work and profound. Experts say that unemployment rates rise from 5% to 7.1%. Now, women, they're getting into healthcare jobs, but there's only so many healthcare jobs to go. If a woman in America is a Hispanic or black, then she's going to be screwed because no guy will want to marry her, wife her up, because she don't need no man, and she could have multiple babies by multiple baby daddies. So women are going to be severely affected. the recession is coming, and it's through Trump blundering America into a pointless war with the oil price going up. And despite all that, all these jobs which all these women are doing, they're on the decline because they're going to be replaced by AI and automation. But these sorts of jobs which are designed around AI and automation are predominantly which men will be filling. Plus the construction work is going to be a boom in jobs if the war expands and it turns into a world war. So in case of watch this space. I think I'm on the 20 minutes now, so I'll have to wrap it up. But if you look at things from a MGTOW perspective, things are going to get awful bad for women in the next few years as the birth rate continues to decline and the economy also goes off a cliff, and we're going to see how that affects feminism. Women, I've noticed, are starting to reject feminism, but it could be just a front where behind they really have a feminist mindset, but it's not looking good for women at all. Men can survive. We've always survived throughout throughout human history, no matter what, because men can put up with very little, but women are going to have some hard times, especially women in the West. Right, I think I'm on the 20 minutes now, so you all know the routine, people, like, dislike, etc. It's completely up to you. So until next Monday, I'll see if I can find something else on this thing with the oil price and affecting the economy and women, etc. So until then, that's it from me. Bye bye.